the Biz and Breakfast. Listen to Wendy and Brooke today because we're talking everything about Biz and Breakfast. Next on the Trucking Risk and Insurance Podcast.
Welcome to the Trucking Risk and Insurance Podcast.
Ladies, welcome to the Trucking Risk and Insurance Podcast. Brooke, can you start off, please, and throw a little introduction? Tell us who you are and maybe even throw your employer's name in there.
Of course. Well, good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Brooke Violo. I'm the Director of Client Services for ISB Global Service.
Wonderful. Maybe, Wendy, you can add on to who you are and what the heck is ISB Global Service?
Thank you, guys. It's great to be on your show as always. I'm Wendy Patton. I'm the Director of Transportation at ISB Global Services. ISB Global Services, we have two sides to our business. We've got our insurance side where we take care of all the claims requests from all the large insurers. And we've got our background screening side of the business where we do background screening for corporations, trucking, anybody who needs a background check, come to ISB and we'll help you with that.
Background screening part, is that the part I recall me, M-E-E?
Yes, we have our Me platform. We also work with 10th Street. We've got a MOC platform, and we've also got a compliance platform now, which is very interesting.
Well, we will have time to get into that, but really, we're here to talk about your Biz and Breakfast. Your Biz and Breakfast.
Breakfast? Somebody say breakfast? Lord, we got a hungry already. How long do I got to wait?
Till July 11th.
Oh, God, I'm going to get hungry. I'm going to lose some weight if I don't eat now.
Well, Brooke, what's happening at the Biz and Breakfast? Wendy just said July the 11th, but what the hell is happening there?
So we have been busy organizing our Biz and Breakfast. So July 11th, we are so excited. We've got some really great sponsors. So we've got BFL Canada, who has sponsored us, as well as Zurich Insurance and Aviva Canada. ISB Global Services is hosting this in collaboration with 10th Street and Transrap. And we are very excited to come together. Wendy and I will both be there. We have Angelique Maggie from the Element Fleet Management. And so it's just a really great opportunity for everybody to come out and do some networking. Of course, have your breakfast. You need to meet Wendy and I. We will both be there. And so we're really excited for it.
Cool. Wendy, where is the Biz and Breakfast? Let's get that out of the way.
It's going to be at the Lionhead Golf Course in Mississauga at 8525 Mississauga Road on the just of Brampton, Mississauga.
To get up early to make it there on time.
Yes, you will. You can come and stay at my house the night before if you like.
Okay, all right. That way I won't have travel so far. Good.
You'll have to share a room with Marilyn Serber, but you'll be all right.
Here. Cog's the sheet.
Oh, and since you mentioned Marilyn, where is she working now? You may as well throw that out.
So Marilyn has a consulting company called Candela, and she also works for Driver's Legal Plan.
Oh, there we go. Okay. And
Cool.
you mentioned Angelique. What is Angelique talking about?
Angelique is going to be talking about the insurer from the customer to the insurer, looking at both sides of the process, what the insurer requires, what the customer needs for the insurance side. So she's going to be looking at it from both sides of the house. So it's going to be very interesting.
Cool. I'm sure it will be.
Yeah. And then we've got a panel moderated by Scott Kober from BFL with Andrew Ramsing from Northbridge and Denise Guetta from Zurich and Don Williams from Aviva.
And what are they talking about? That'll be an interesting panel.
Yeah, they're going to be talking about panel cracking the insurance code, the 2024 market outlook, and what can technology do to help.
And it's going to be interesting. I really am looking forward to it because I was with a broker this past week, and they believe we're on the verge of a soft market again. So, which I had not heard anybody else talk about that. So that'll be really interesting. Brooke, what time? I mean, we talked about the guests, we talked about the sponsors. We haven't said what time is the breakfast.
Yeah, 7:30 till 1. 7:30 till 8:30 is registration and breakfast, and then we'll kick things off at 8:30 with opening remarks, and then we'll have some panels, some networking breaks, and then we'll carry on for the till 1 o'clock. And then if people want to mingle and network after that, they're more than welcome.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I'll bring my golf club since it's that line.
Not a bad idea.
There you go.
The facility, as you know, I've met you there several times. The facility's wonderful at the line.
Oh, it is,
Food
yes.
is always great. And the golf course ain't so bad. And since the whole thing's over by 1, what the right? I mean, this is kind of I'll call it a toss-up question, Brooke or Wendy, whoever feels most apt. Why did ISB do this?
Well, ISB's been doing this since 2016. It just started out as a small little gathering just to get the ISB team and the Me Are Making Eligibility Easy platform out the market. So we just started out just inviting maybe like 20 people, and we just started talking about the the Me platform, and then it started to grow from there, and then clients started asking if they could sponsor. So then I'm like, okay, let's do that. So now it's grown to be what we have right now. So we're very excited to have it. It's a great event. You get to see some of your friends and meet new friends, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I want to say I think I've attended every one other than when they were closed down during the pandemic.
You have been. You might get a gold star for that, Mr. Farquhar.
Ooh. And an extra piece of bacon?
And an extra Wendy Patton squeeze. So that'll be.
Ooh, there you go. All right. I like the squeezes. That'll work.
Honey gets a gold star. Brooke, do you give out squeezes as well?
I do. I do give squeeze. You might get the inaugural squeeze.
There you go. I'm up for it. There we go.
God, if you're following in Wendy's shoes or even being associated with, that's not always a good thing, Brooke.
Wendy has so kindly taken me under her wing in background screening. So I'm endlessly thankful for Wendy.
I'll be bringing Brooke to the Fleet Safety Council breakfast on Wednesday as well. So you'll get to see her there as well. So I want her to, start meeting people.
I'm sure what you said, Wendy, was brilliant, but you froze.
Yeah.
Okay, I said I'm bringing Brooke to the Fleet Safety Council lunch on Wednesday to introduce her to the community, and so that she sees how things work in the trucking industry.
I paid my fee to be there on Wednesday. Well, so
Thank you. We're waiting for Mr. Farquhar to register. Once that happens, the floodgates will open. People are waiting to see Mr. Farquhar's name on the registration page. That's what they're waiting for.
Coming. It's coming.
He's waiting to make a big, huge announcement one of these days, and
Beard off? Is that the announcement we're waiting for? That would be quite the thing, I think.
I think he's going to dye it red.
What diet? Like what? I'm not skinny enough?
Like red or green.
You could do it on services blue.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could. I could do it red, and I'd look like a big giant leprechaun.
There you go.
We'll leave that to another conversation.
Oh God, this is always fun with Wendy, and now I've met Brooke. But Brooke, again, what are we talking about? What's this event called?
This is our Biz and Breakfast. So this is your time. If you're in the industry, come on out, have your breakfast, learn from the best of the best. We'll have some conversations about driver onboarding, mitigating risk, anything and everything to do with hiring and keeping your people safe.
We will have a link to register in the show notes down below. Wendy, what day is it?
It's Thursday, July 11th at Lionhead Golf Course in Brampton.
At 7:30 to 1. Is that right? I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah.
That's nice.
You froze. I don't know what it is about your internet
I don't know.
connection.
It's my life so far. Everything that's going
It's
to
that
go wrong.
internet.
No.
That's right. That's right.
We think we the heck out of it. There, and Brooke, if you want to mention your sponsors one more for this episode, you can throw that in.
Yeah, so once again, we've got BFL sponsoring us, we've got Zurich sponsoring us, and we have Aviva sponsoring us, and we are so excited and so thankful to all of our sponsors for the Biz and Breakfast.
I
Yes.
have
And Lead Pedal podcast, Bruce Outridge will be there. He'll be monitoring and filming the event and doing some interviews. So you'll be on the other end of the interview page, maybe, Chris. You won't have to be the interviewer. You'll be the interviewee.
I was just
Yeah.
going to say you had to throw in the competition there, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Well,
On
and
my show.
I was just thinking, hasn't Bruce changed that channel now? When he does a recording, he then turns it into a comic book,
Oh, maybe.
cartoon style or something. So yeah, so maybe he can make me skinnier.
Yeah, look, if you can do that for me too, I'm right there with you. Skinnier, younger, I'm good.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm joking for all the people listening. The Lead Pedal podcast is a great show.
Yeah.
So we have Angelique from Elementor, who,
Elements
Elementary.
management. Yeah.
okay,
And
and
we-
she, go ahead, sorry. And the BFL panel is?
And BFL panel is Scott Kober as the moderator, and Andrew Ramsing from Northbridge, Denise Guetta from Zurich, and Don Williams from Aviva. And we have the deputy register for motor vehicles, John Doucette from MTO. He'll be talking to us about the safety of the road and making sure that your drivers are compliant while they're on the road.
And for those of you who have never met Sean, one, he's a very nice guy. He's as high up in the MTO as you can get.
Yep.
So if you're a motor carrier, it would
Yep.
be a good time to shake hands in a pleasant atmosphere with
Yeah.
Mr. Doucette. Well,
Absolutely.
You don't want to meet him across the table at a show cause hearing.
That's when I usually meet Sean, and they aren't pleasant, those
Yeah.
show
No.
cause hearings. So
No.
meet Sean in a pleasant atmosphere.
Absolutely. And then we've got Marilyn from Candela Professional Group. She's going to be moderating a panel with Heather Devine from Traffics Group and Doug Marcello from Saxton and Strump. So he's going to be at safety, and then he's coming to the Biz and Breakfast.
Yeah.
Safety, in my opinion.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say you got the legal beagles going to be chatting together. That's cool.
And
Nothing
all
but the
that
best
we
in
didn't
trucking industry from ISB Global Services.
There you go.
we didn't mention the huge outstanding price. I'm gonna have to get my credit card out. I've already registered, but
Yeah,
how
it's a
much
big
is it, Wendy?
$25.
$25.
Where can
The
you go
link-
for?
Exactly.
The link is in the show notes below. John and I certainly encourage you all to register. If you haven't met, like Angelique's been in the industry a lot longer than she would like to admit. The other panel with BFL Group, they're all huge industry professionals. Sean Doucette's going to be there, head of MTO, and the legal beagles. Those two have been also in the trucking legal space like forever. So it's a great group. Congrats,
Cool.
Brooke. Congrats, Wendy, on putting it together. I'm sure it's going to be a great event. And
Yeah.
it's July the 11th at Lions. Thanks, Wendy and Brooke. Appreciate your time and for coming on to the Trucking Risk and Insurance Podcast. Hey, this Friday we release Leo Barris from Truck News. It's coming up next on the Trucking Risk and Insurance Podcast. This Friday, like today's Tuesday. You don't got much longer to wait. All right. Oh, God. If you made it this far, please show John and I your gratitude by hitting like and subscribe and leave us a comment. Tell us to go jump in the lake. Appreciate it. Bye, y'all.